From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, May the 20th, 2019. The White House said yesterday that it would co-host a gathering in Bahrain next month to focus on the economic aspects of the long-awaited U.S. peace plan for Israel and the Palestinians. The Peace to Prosperity workshop will reportedly promote investment in the West Bank and Gaza and not deal with any political discussion at this point. In a statement with the Kingdom of Bahrain, the White House said this workshop is a pivotal opportunity to convene government, civil society, and business leaders to share ideas, discuss strategies, and galvanize support for potential economic investments and initiatives that could be made possible by a peace agreement. It was unclear if representatives from the Palestinian Authority or from Israel would be invited to the gathering. The PA, though, did say that they were not consulted about it, and they rejected any plan that does not include a political solution to the conflict. The workshop is scheduled for June the 25th and 26th. Another fire was set to the home of a rabbi and his family in the Boston area last week. We reported to you of two apparent arson attacks on the home of Chabad Rabbi Avi Bukiet in Arlington, Massachusetts, last Saturday night and this past Thursday night. Well, later Thursday night, there was another case of arson in nearby Needham at the home of Chabad Rabbi Mendy Krinsky, which also serves as the Chabad Center for Jewish Life in that city. There were no injuries in any of these cases, but some damage to the homes. Director of the Anti-Defamation League New England office, Robert Treston, told a press conference on Friday, when there is an attack on any member of the Jewish community, whether it's here or outside of these two towns, outside of the state, the Jewish community stands together. Treston also said the reward for information about the incidents was now up to $20,000, and the Massachusetts chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations also offered $1,000 to that fund. And in Chicago, attempts to set a synagogue on fire luckily were not successful. Remnants of Molotov cocktails were found outside of Anshe Shalom B'nai Israel late Saturday night. Police released a photo of a suspect from video surveillance cameras. Director of the Chicago office of the American Jewish Committee, Lawrence Bolleton, said the willful effort to attack a house of worship to try to burn it down is a chilling reminder at a time of rising anti-Semitism in the United States of the vulnerability of synagogues and other Jewish institutions. Poland continues to reject any calls for it to provide restitution of Jewish property stolen by the Nazis during the Holocaust. Last week, Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki said that Poland would never pay restitution because it itself was also a victim of the Nazis. On Friday, he said if there were such a terrible injustice, inverting torturer and victim, it would contradict any elementary principle of international law. This would also be Hitler's posthumous victory, which is why we will never allow it. World Jewish Congress President Ronald Lauder said today this unwillingness to acknowledge that the victims of the Holocaust and their heirs are entitled to a modicum of material justice is unfortunate enough. But he said Prime Minister Morawiecki's contention, assuming that it was uttered as reported, that providing restitution to Jews for their stolen property would be Hitler's posthumous victory is alarming in the extreme. The Al Jazeera media network suspended two journalists yesterday for airing a video claiming the extent of the Holocaust was exaggerated and exploited by the Jews for their benefit. The video was shown in Arabic on the network's online AJ and Arabic service. The Middle East Media Research Institute, or MEMRI, exposed the outrageous video on social media, and it's purporting, among other things, that Israel is the biggest winner from the Holocaust and that it uses the same Nazi justifications as a launching pad for the racial cleansing and annihilation of the Palestinians. The video was quickly removed, and executive director of the network's digital division, Dr. Yasser Bisher, said Al Jazeera completely disowns the offensive content in question and that they would not tolerate such material on any of the network's platforms. Well, the Netherlands was the big winner at the Eurovision Song Contest Saturday night in Tel Aviv. Israel came in a disappointing 23rd place out of the 26 countries who made it to the finals. American pop icon Madonna caused a bit of a stir during her performance in the show when she had two of her dancers walk off together wearing Israeli and Palestinian flags, respectively, on their backs, which was apparently not part of the rehearsal and not approved by the European Broadcasting Union, who said the Eurovision Song Contest is a non-political event, and Madonna had been made aware of this. But ultimately, all went smoothly as 200 million people from around the world watched the Eurovision, and efforts from the BDS, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement to boycott the competition because it was being held in Israel failed. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, May the 20th. At 7 o'clock, it's The Wisdom of Dr. Ruth. At 7:30, veteran Israeli actor Sasson Gabay discusses playing the lead role in The Band's Visit, in both the movie and as a replacement for Tony Shalhoub in the Tony Award-winning Broadway production. That's with Eric Goldman on Jewish Cinematheque. At 8 o'clock, Israeli Reform Rabbi Uri Regev discusses the challenge of creating a unified state of Israel that is both Jewish and democratic. That's at the 2019 American Zionist Movement Biennial Assembly. At 9, Mark Golub sits down for part 1 of an interview with former National Director of the ADL, Abe Foxman, who reflects upon his story of survival during the Holocaust on L'chaim. At 10, Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs speaks at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up right after this newscast, it's Innovation Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, May the 20th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader.